Hello, my name is Glenn Ames. I am the director of the Rectory Middle School, and I'm sitting here with Mr. George Bryant, who is Rectory's chaplain. George and I meet once a week, and we kind of brainstormed as we wanted a way to share what happens over at Christ Chapel with our monthly chapel service. So, an introduction to George. George is originally from Georgia, and he did his secondary schooling at Exeter, and he did his college studies in Boston. So George, welcome. And so tell us, what is your mindset when you think about what you want to talk about in chapel?
Yeah, sure. So the mindset, basically, what I've kind of come into recently is being the kind of the person who tries to inspire the youth to embody their purpose. And so one way that I work to create my chapel messages is how can I connect to the students where they are as unique individuals with unique callings in their life and unique purposes. So as my brainstorming process happens every day, every hour that I'm with the students. I'm watching them, I'm seeing how they interact with each other, I'm seeing ways that they could be lifted up or affirmed, or the best parts of them could be pulled out.
So George has done 3 chapel services to date. The first was on heroes, and then he did one on memory, and most recently on you reap what you sow. So why don't you tell the audience what those were all about, starting with the heroes.
Yeah. So the heroes one is really close to my heart because it's an interesting one. The twist that made me sure that I wanted to give it to the students is that we all have heroes in our life, and the catch of it is that they're not always with us. The heroes aren't always with us, walking next to us. They're not always our grandparents or our moms or our dads or our brothers or sisters or friends. They can be someone we met once that hasn't left our hearts. They can be the voices that we have, the handful of voices, or the crowd of voices that live inside of us. So I wanted to give the attention, I wanted to reorient or rediscover the inner world of each student, and I wanted to call them to give it their attention, because it's in the tradition of almost all the religions. It's in the tradition of come back to yourself, see what's going on, and take a note of who your heroes are, because that's who you're going to become.
Yeah,
and it's so important.
Yeah, when I thought what really resonated with the kids was how you talked about, we think of the hero in the popular way, and I think we forget about the heroes who are the adults who we interact on a daily basis, whether through family or here at Rectory, and the inspiration they provide. And then the next one you talked about was memories.
Memories. So I got the memory idea by simply walking around Christ Church. I see the plaques, and they all say in memory of this person, in memory of this woman who gave a part of their life to the church or the community. And I wanted to say, the students are here now. They need to be aware that so much has been given by people from before, hundreds of years before, decades before, and that there's been lives given for this community, and they all live among us. And so the idea of memory, particularly in our modern age, sometimes is lost, and it's a fear of mine. So to embody this memory and to make them aware of it, I think is a critical foundation.
Yeah, it's sort of like our cultural heritage.
Yes.
Right? The importance of that even as family. And so the most recent one, which I think the kids really grabbed onto, was you reap what you sow. So tell us about that message.
So you reap what you sow. The fascinating reason I wanted to give that message is because it blends the kind of, we could say, the science and the faith, that whole thing, which I think is a problem anyway. But you reap what you sow is, of course, from the Bible, and that matches our Rectory foundations, being an Episcopal school founded, and it matches with the almost universal law of cause and effect, right? And so it matters to the students because it matters that they have these habits, that they have the future in their mind right now, right? They have the future in their mind right now, and the habits that they carry out every day, every morning, every evening, how they do their homework, it's going to shape their destiny. So that's you reap what you sow.
Yeah, and, you know, I kind of piggyback on that in assembly, and I talk about these little things that you do, and then, like you talk about, the good things that come from these good habits. So great stuff, and I like how you ended with all the students contributing the seed in potted soil, and hopefully they'll see that when that starts to sprout, that together we can truly make a difference. So thanks, George.
Yeah, you're welcome. Glad to be here.